From the Lone Elm Sports Park in Olathe, Kansas, this is the 2023 USAFL Super Regionals. This is the opening round of Men's Division I as the four-time defending Men's Division I national champions, Austin Crows, take on the Boston Demons, who were winners in Men's Division II last year. Should be a cracking matchup. Brian Barish here with you, joined by the head coach of the USA Revolution national team, Tom Ellis. Tommy, Boston, very good back in the day. They're going to be in Division I at Nationals come hell or high water this year for the first time in 12 years. This should be a great test for them ahead of Nationals.
That's good to hear. I mean, they were a dominant team at the beginning.
Here comes Austin. They're in the hooped jumpers going from left to right. Knocked down. That is, I believe, that's PJ Devine, who spent some time up in Canada a while ago. Handball back looking for Brown, and then handballs that one on to, I believe that was Butt, and a nice mark taken in the corner. That is Grant Campbell. You called him Glenn Campbell. I love it. Well, the question is whether or not he will be a rhinestone cowboy if he kicks this goal. So here is the veteran Grant Campbell. Used to be called the Peter Dacos of the USAFL. Sails that one across the face of goal. Ball goes to ground. Boston concedes the behind, and that's the first score on the Watch AFL scoreboard. It's Austin 1, Boston nothing. If you're Boston, how do you play this game against this vaunted Austin team?
Austin's been winning nationals for a reason. They've got Americans that look like Aussies. They all play very well. So if you're gonna compete against these guys, you better stay on them. You better be body on body.
And the thing is they've got essentially their whole team. Chippy's here, Ben Carpenter, Juan Yanwu, probably the best American over the last couple of years. Nolan Cox is here as far as I know. They've got a lot of really good players, but you're right. They're Americans. They play like Aussies, and that's the defining factor between, as you said, in these Division I matches.
Yeah, absolutely. Whoever has the best Americans usually wins the game. So get teams that have good Aussies on both sides, and those guys can cancel each other out. But then the Americans take over the game.
Boundary throw in directly across from us. Ball comes spinning back in the play as Ryan O'Malley was doing battle there in the ruck for Austin. It gets punched backwards, and once again we have a game of aggro twister out there directly across from us, and we'll have a ball up. 1-0 the score. Our thanks, of course, to Tasmanian. Visit Olathe as well. This beautiful soccer complex here just to the west of Kansas City, both of them. And we'll have another Stacks on the Mill situation and another ball up. Umpire Jeff Person tosses it to the heavens. Gravity takes effect. O'Malley to the far side, and the ball goes out of bounds. I'm wondering now, it's interesting to see him and not Nolan in the ruck.
Yeah, I think they're trying to move him out. Austin has actually picked up a new American that's a 6'9" basketball guy that was actually, I think, at the combine with Mason back in the day, and they've got him playing now.
As if they didn't need any more help.
An American, though, coach, I'm super happy to hear we've got a new American playing with Austin.
There's Nolan, and he gets he's gonna get a free kick here because it looks like he got high contact. They're giving it to Ben Carpenter Wanyanwu, the best player of everybody at the 2017 AFL International Cup, sends this one on the way. It is dead center, perfect goal to the Austin Crows, and Ben Carpenter Wanyanwu on the Watch AFL scoreboard. Crows 1-1-7, Demons no score.
That just goes to show you how deep Austin is.
Oh yeah.
He's able to put him down there, and it pays off. I mean, anywhere you put him, he's going to be good. So the fact that he can put him down in the forward line and just use him down there, it just shows his depth.
Kind of like his brother. Yeah, because his brother plays in the ruck and he plays in the forward line. And in case you're not familiar with who we're talking about, Nolan Cox is one of two older brothers of Mason Cox, the 100 gamer plus for the Collingwood Magpies in the AFL. And we're going to have a secondary ball up here out of the center. And, it's been great to see him, and it's great to as well see him on the national team as well and contribute for the USA as they get set to play Canada up in Racine. This is Ryan Shaw for Boston, but had the ball turned over, and all alone and taking the over-the-shoulder mark was Murphy. Kane Murphy goes back left to right, and it's marked in front. Yeah, Austin Beatty doing a fantastic job. He's been around a while.
Well, he's really, that was an excellent play if you watch it, where he tackles
going right to left on the wind, but that has gone through, has gone behind, and that is 1 point. Austin 1-2-8. Boston no score. That's on the Watch AFL scoreboard. This is the voice of Brian Barish, and that's the voice of Tom Ellis.
Yes. I just got to see Austin about a month ago. We went down there and played against them. So
Yes.
It's good to see those guys back out.
Yeah, they played the USA Revolution, and the Revos won that game by 1 point, I believe, if I remember.
We was, and, it wasn't the Austin team that you see here. We had a lot of their Americans playing for us, but it was a great hit out, and we really appreciate those guys hosting.
Over the top comes Ken McCarthy, the president of this Boston Demons side, almost taking the mark, but it skitters off the foot and out of play, off the hands there of Colin Smith, and the ball tumbles out of bounds. I believe that was off of Wes Mitchell, and we'll have a boundary throw in. Boston, this is their first real serious sortie forward as it gets knocked down, cleared out by McCarthy, throwing that one onto the left and now sending that one in, but it's 2 hoop jumpers, and the handball out the back. This is Montgomery, I believe, yes, has the footy up on the far side. Chasing after it is Lucas Hemingway, no relation to Kim, and that one will drop in front. It'll roll, it'll skip, it'll hop, and it will be did he stay in play or did he concede it? No, he did concede the behind. No? Yeah, he did concede the behind. The way they played on. Oh, what a mark! Kane Murphy, he got higher than a hippie at Woodstock. That's the mark of the day, but that's going to amount to nothing in the final analysis, but that's going to look good on all the highlight reels we can muster. Yeah, he does. That means he was an Australian, but still, the form there. We don't see that too often. This is Daniel Brown, and the mark is taken over the middle. Here comes Kane Murphy once again. Can he finish it off with a goal?
That was really nice by Brownie. Brownie assessed the field, looked back, had a wide open guy, and then put it right to him. Brownie's one of those guys that, if you didn't know, he looks like he has tape on his arm. He's not. He's
No.
American, and he plays like an Aussie.
Nah, he's been one of their. I don't think he's gotten as much attention. We'll give the score real quick. It is 9-1 on the Watch AFL scoreboard as the two teams trade behinds. He doesn't. I still feel get the attention that Chippy does, or that Coxey does, or that Gigliotti does. But he's a good, consistent player. He's quick, and he adds a lot to this team. Over the top was Fernandez, who I think had designs on his own spectacular mark, but he didn't. And there's Coxey. Nolan Cox. Safe to say he'll be up in Racine.
Well, he's not. We want him there, but he will not be there. He's getting married.
That's
after, so
way more important.
probably a good move.
But that doesn't affect his goal kicking. Right.
Hopefully they announce the International Cup here shortly, and then we'll lock him in.
Goal for I was going to call him Mason. Goal for Nolan. I was going to call him Nason. That's like a Nolan Mason mix. Austin 2-3-15. Boston 1 behind. That's on the Watch AFL scoreboard. And Austin, I haven't snowed under Boston terribly quickly. Boston is playing well. They are getting their chances up here in the forward line. They're a good side. I mean, they did win Division II last year.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at that right there, they actually played Cox pretty well.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. But they were on him, bought him, and he made.
Yeah. O'Malley wins the hit out of the center, but not to advantage. Here comes Boston. Inside 50 once again. It's a one-on-one contest off the hands of Mitchell. 2 players there for the, that's going to be kicking in danger. It should be Ryan Shaw. Oh, no, you're going to give him holding the man. I think he might have gotten away with kicking in danger. Shaw off of one step. It's drifting right. It's not going to have the carry, but a nice mark in the goal square.
And they don't call a push in the back if it's your own man. He pushed his own man in the back.
Yeah. Well, that's, I mean, they're both wearing navy blue. Jared Fernandez, who really the key behind their success the last couple of years, steps up and goes bang. And Boston has their first sausage roll of the day. They go to 1-1-7. It's back to an 8-point deficit. 2-3-15. We're going to say 11 minutes to play here in the first half. Remember, we're playing 2 20-minute halves. Each of these teams is going to play 3 games over the course of the day. The Denver Bulldogs and let's see if I can remember it, the New York Magpies are the other 2 teams in this division. It's a round robin. Best record at the end of the afternoon wins the D1 Super Regional Championship. And if there is a tie, it of course goes down to percentage, which is essentially like differential, except it's with a different operator. Ball back in the middle of the ground. It amazes me that they still do that in the AFL. They haven't gone straight to point to differential. But I think it actually rewards teams that allow fewer points.
That's all math to me, and I'm from Texas.
Triangle. Barbecue sauce. I should have used barbecue sauce in my, and I did. I was thinking about it. I was going to say barbecue sauce, but I was just like, yeah, we know they have good barbecue. I don't need to use it too much. Ball in dispute in the middle of the ground, and that was Ryan Shaw trying to shepherd that one forward. It goes through the hands of Anthony Seymour Butt as the ball comes out. That's his nickname. There's a chance. Handballs it into the middle. That is it was Aguirre who went for it, but it ping-pongs around. Boston, a good job of clearing the present danger, but only as far as Gigliotti. One step off the left foot. 2 pies, please. Yeah. His left foot, which is his right foot.
You saw the structure there. You saw like how they kept their structure across there, and everybody had options.
3-3. Yeah, not at all. 3-3-21 to 117. We have 117. I don't think they've picked it up over on the scoreboard over there, but they'll check at halftime. We'll check at halftime as well, but we have 21-7. It's a 14-point lead, and we're back in the middle once again. And Austin, they have not. 2017 was the last year they failed to win a regionals or a nationals. Lost to Dallas in the decider in the Central Regionals in Little Rock. Lost to Los Angeles in pool play that year, and LA ended up going to the grand final and losing to Golden Gate. Ball comes in the middle once again. Boston had a couple of their kicks smothered and covered like some Waffle House hash browns. Big boom in there, and Campbell out the back, and then losing his feet, I believe, was Young. Matthew Young was in there. Send that one back from whence it came. Off the hand, it's right in front. Can somebody get a foot to it? Handball's over. Oh, that's a point. As that was Tim McCullough, who at the end of all of that, good desperation football to prevent anything major from happening there. 3-4 plays 1-1. Watch AFL scoreboard. And again, our thanks to Tasmanian for getting behind us once again. The Apple Isle finally getting an AFL club, it seems like, in 2028. Long overdue. And great to have them behind us. We mentioned some of our other sponsors, including Blundstone, and they'll sponsor the longest kick competition, which I believe is coming up at halftime of this game. There's a left-footed kick on the way across the body. Does it have the carry? No, it's off hands and through for another point.
Austin is doing a great job of locking this in. Keep getting
3 goals, 5 plays, 1-1. And somebody is behind over there on the scoreboard. I have 3-5-23 to 117. And Boston will put the ball back in play from their own goal square. Out to the left side. Mark taken nicely over the top. Yeah, just keep it nice and isolated. 4 players in there, one out by Bentley. Bentley sends that one forward, but picked off, and here they come the other way. Slowing through the defenders, Mates 2-player miss. That is Madsen like a mad dog. That one is sent in towards the sticks. It's going to bounce in front, and it was marked in the last line of defense by the D's. And again, they get out of jail. The question is when will the damn wall break? Jay Honey, who was one of their stars in the championship run a season ago, playing in the back right pocket where I keep my keys, which is why I have a pain in the butt. Ball comes to the ground. Over to get it is Barr. I haven't called his name too much lately, Steph Barr, but that's good because it means that he's not shouldering the load as much as some of the other players have. Words. They're saying words. I hear no words. And it will be a ball in there. So we couldn't tell because of the massive humanity over there, but it is a ball in. Cox gets higher than Joe Cocker to pound that one forward, and the ball tumbles out in front of the Watch AFL scoreboard. Brian Barish alongside Tom Ellis, the head coach of the USA Revolution national team. Glad to have you along here on USAFL.com. Yep, my first time ever, but of course KC hosted nationals in 2002, 2003. I think there was one towards the beginning of the league's existence that it may have been key in the formation of the league, if I remember correctly. This is Ben Carpenter-Wanyanwu, who has won the free kick. Right-footed kick from an oblique angle. The umpire comes across and gives the two-finger salute that you can show on TV. It's another major for the Crows. 4-5-29. The lead is 22 points. Boston 1-1-7.
Yeah, that's what's been happening. They keep the ball down there. They get some points. They just keep putting the pressure until they break and they get that goal. Every goal's been like that. They just keep putting it down there until they finally.
Yeah, the goals haven't been. We saw in the women's game that some of the goals were just like highlight reel stuff. This has just been hard work, and you kind of lose sight of that. Like when you see the players in the AFL, they see these meticulously set up. You see these broken plays every once in a while, and that shows, I think, the real skill, the awareness of it, in addition to skill. Boston looking for more here as they come back in the other direction. The ball comes to ground. Campbell goes over the top. In there as well is Salim Hajar. That is not Christian Merritt, who we normally see wearing the 23, as this one is sent down the right wing over the head there of Gabriel Ramos, but he does finally get it. He's pulled down off the footy, no call. It should have been a sling tackle, but no call by the umpire. Out to the near side to Tim Welsh, I believe. No, that's 65, which is Carlton Holston, and it's marked nicely. Holding up play is Fernandez. Fernandez takes a step to his right. Now waiting for a lead. The Jets are scrambled inside 50. Sends that one towards the sticks, and that one is batted down. It comes out, comes loose, squirts free. Left-footed kick. A left-handed kick would be pretty interesting off the foot of Lucas Hemingway. But it's cleared out. Good smother in there by Colin Smith. Ball tumbles over the boundary line and out of bounds. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they played really well. Listen, unfortunate not to beat DC in 2019. Won Division III in a game we called over a very good Columbus side. They should be moving up to Division I this year. I told them last year there's no excuses. They got up. They won D2 last year. They got to play in D1. So this is a good litmus test to see where they are. Austin, I think, has been a lot more polished as Cox sees the ball, clean bowl him, but he stays with the footy, keeps the ball in play somehow, some way, spins away from an attacker. That was a very nice play. Barr sends that one into the top of the goal square. Marked. Oh, no. Four goals, 6:30 to 1-1-7 on the Watch AFL scoreboard. It was champagne football, but it ended up turning into sparkling apple juice, which isn't bad. Don't get me wrong, I like sparkling apple juice. Not the effect you're looking for, not especially after being in the sun for 9 hours, as the ball comes back into play. And here is Gigliotti. He's going to go back to go forward. That three-dimensionalism of this game sends that one in. And a nice mark taken by Ben Carpenter-Wanyanwu. And Chippy, I'll tell you what, there were two players that were flying through. And I saw Chippy, I was like, he didn't mark that, did he? I guess he did.
Well, and again, it's an American beating an Aussie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the difference between Austin and everyone else.
Didn't really account for the wind too much left to right, or in fact encountered too much. And they say that went over the post, which counts as a behind. 2 minutes to go in this first half. It seems like a long half, but Austin 4-7-31. Boston 1-1-7.
It's been a good game. I mean, it's not been a cluster. It's ball movement. It's a good game. It's a good contest.
Out on the full, and that, just like Uncle Smedley's fourth marriage, is an unforced error. The late Bud Collins came up with that. Free kick to James Bates. Batesy decides to open up the angle and drop the footy, but I don't think he really had possession of it to begin with. This is, yeah, very, very good contest. I think that may have been Steph Barr, and it was. So ball up, center field. And we're looking at less than a minute to go here in this first half. Really would. That one is punched away by Cox. Over to get it is, that's it. That is halftime at the football as the clock beats the man in Austin Beatty, and that is that. So after 20 minutes of play, entertaining football, good free-flowing football. It's the Austin Crows 4-goal 7-31. Boston 1-1-7. We'll double check that for you. I think we had it and they missed it, but we'll double check. Halftime thoughts from you?
Yeah, pretty much what you expected. Austin came out, looks like the cream of the crop. Boston's got their hands full, but they got a good look at it, so now they know the taste of D1 football.
Yep. Indeed. Well, we'll come back for the second half of this one. You're watching the 2023 USAFL Super Regionals from Olathe, Kansas, here on USAFL.com. Wait for Doran to get off the field. All right, Craig, whenever we're on you, sir. Back here at Lone Elm Park here in Olathe, Kansas, the 2023 USAFL Central Regionals, thanks to our good friends at Visit Olathe and Tasmanian, Brian Barish, alongside Tom Ellis. The Hooter goes. The second half is underway. The Austin Crows lead by 20, officially it looks like 23 points. The scoreboard reads 31-8, so we missed a behind. They missed 2 and we missed 1 in that second half. So here we go. As here comes Gigliotti. Slaloms through, big tackle on Barr from behind. The umpire says let it play as McCarthy came in like Superman and unfortunately didn't win the free kick from it. Umpire Jeff Person says give that to me, we'll ball this up. Yeah, and slow to get up and on his hands and knees. I'll tell you in a second once we see a number. That is Gabriel Ramos. Ramos going to stay in for now. Sends that one in. Juggled and marked. Second best mark of the day. That's by Jacob O'Meara Gill, who's played all over the place. He sends that one for goal. It bounces home, and Boston has their second.
If they want to get back in the game, that's exactly what they're going to need to do.
It's like my old teammate with the Philadelphia Hawks, Ryan Cavanaugh, used to say, you get the first, then you get the second. On the Watch AFL scoreboard, 2-2-14. Margin back to 17 points, 4-7-31 for Austin. And O'Meara Gill, he's an Aussie. He's played everywhere. He played in Oklahoma. He played down in I think Oklahoma. But you see him, and you see they attack the football. But that also shows the Americans, guys like Carpenter Wanyanu, when they attack the footy, they look just like these Aussie guys.
That's what they got to do. They get right in there. They didn't have to work that hard. They just got it to him, and they put one in. So that's what they need. A couple more of those to get back in the game.
Ball comes around, and again, Boston trying to get it forward. That's a huge momentum boost. Let's see what they can build from it. Well, not when Austin has the footy. Is bootlegging around is Kane Murphy, who took a spectacular mark right in front of us here in the first half. The ball comes back on the far side, and the ball tumbles out of bounds in front of the airplane hangar. I don't think that's an airplane hangar, but it looks like an airplane hangar, and we'll have a ball in. You mentioned in the first game, Tommy, these fields are very, very nice. They're nice and lush and green. In the middle of summer here in the Midwest, they could easily be brown and hard, but they do a really good job of the upkeep here at Lone Elm.
Yeah, it looked really good yesterday. We were out here last night doing a little clinic with the USA team, and at the end of that, they were starting to water it. So, I mean, this thing got watered late last night. It's nice, it's soft. You don't have that. This could have been a brick, and it is not.
That one is sent in, and a nice mark again. And again, this one was Thomas O'Sullivan as he sends that one in, and it drops in front, going after it to chase it, and off the ground. Was that Chippy off the ground? Yes, it was. Chippy says, what? I can play soccer too. And he bangs that one home for Austin's fifth, 5-7-37 to Boston, 2-2-14. I hate to bring back bad memories, but that's how Papua New Guinea plays when you see them play. And that's and they don't go back and set up. It's like, what's the next play? They always have somebody in the play. Speaking of which, Nolan Cox has moved back into the ruck, so he's getting at least 20 minutes in the ruck if he stays here. Out to the near side, one-on-one contest goes off the knees of Farias. Out to the near side, Gigliotti, and we have a whistle, and it is going to be a good tackle, and it will be a free kick to Boston. Aaron Cook is who that is. Well, I saw a 4 and a bald head, or at least a balding head. He's really good, and we're friends, so I can say that about him. McCarthy gets the ball, and this one is sent forward. That one's going to Cox, but it bounces away from him. Cox gets the ball knocked forward. He gets it, snags it on one hand. A handball out to Campbell, and Campbell goes bang. Oh my goodness. Well, he's been like that ever since I've seen him play. He's always been in that forward pocket or in the middle.
Imagine him in the middle, what he was like. He was a nightmare in the middle, and that was before Austin really came in presence. He was playing with Dallas, and now to see him down there, and he's still wreaking havoc down there.
6-7-43 on the Watch AFL scoreboard, 2-2-14 for Boston. This one might be all over Red Rover, but Boston not out of it yet. Handball, and as the wind picks up, this is Murphy. Murphy goes down the line. Chippy had to go through his hands. And back the other way, got pushed in the back, no call. Around is O'Malley to the left and behind. They're like a pack of jalapenos. They're peppering the goals out there. 6-8-44 to 2-2-14. Brian Barish alongside Tom Ellis, the head coach of the USAFL national team, here on USAFL.com, here at the Super Regionals in Olathe, Kansas.
And wind is really starting to pick up.
Really
It's
is.
kind of swirly. I mean, it seems like one time it's at your back, next time it's not. So I don't know.
Well, you see the goalposts. The goalposts are kind of bobbing and weaving back and forth. The Tasmanian flags that you see over there, that's kind of hard to tell because of the way they're made. They're not like when we have at nationals, when we have the American American, Australian, Canadian flags up, you can tell a little bit more, as that one is snagged out of the air nicely. And Boston will continue things up. Thought about that one as the two number 3s there, Brown and Shaw, went after it. Shaw ended up winning out, drops in front, and the ball tumbles out of bounds, bounces high and out, and we'll have a boundary throw in directly across from us.
Yeah, you see how much quicker Austin moves the ball. Boston's popping it up, moving the ball down. High kicks, high kick contest.
Ball comes spinning back in the play once again. And we're going to do it back Jack, do it again, as Steely Dan used to say. Go ahead.
The structure I see behind the ball is so much better than it has been in years past. It's good to see.
Cleared out by Austin, and the structure is very important, especially when you're playing as well as they did and playing against them. Cook with a shovel handball forward, and a ball going out of bounds, and once again we'll have a boundary throw in over where all the people are here.
Boston is playing much better than they were
Yeah.
at the end of that second half, so it's good to see them bounce back and come out here and play hard.
Ball comes spinning, back in the play. Ball goes to ground, stabbed out of there, dropped in front. See the Kansas City Power and their brand new Sharp. I love those jumpers and their brand new uniforms, incorporating the fountains that are on the Kansas City flag over there. And this is the first time Kansas City, and we'll see them, you'll actually be calling them because they'll be playing against St. Louis next. This is the first time in their 25 years that they've had jumpers of their own. They've always had hand-me-downs from Port Adelaide.
Yeah, it's good to see them coming back. Like I said, we'll talk about it a little bit more in the other game. This game, a lot of this game started in Kansas City, all over the Midwest. But KC was a big hub school.
This is Pascalo. Sends that one in, and it's Chippy who takes the mark. Ben Carpenter Wanyanwu, and you cannot lose him or else he will burn you. Carpenter Wanyanwu kicks another one.
That's a guy we won't have against Canada. He's out of the country, as Chippy likes to do.
Yeah, Chippy likes to go to different places. Well, he kicks a point. It's 6-9-45 to 2-2-14. Yeah, it's a shame when they have to actually have like lives instead of playing Canada.
It's good. It gives some of these guys that that we haven't seen much.
Yeah,
It gives them a chance to come out and play and really show what they can do against a really good Canada team. I expect that game to be really, really good next month.
but you know he'll be available for the cup if the cup goes forward.
We're waiting for that announcement. Just pull the trigger, AFL.
Couple of weeks, and we'll know as we listen. By the time we're in Seattle, we'll probably know. For the Western Regionals, we'll probably know more about it. Here is a shot for a goal. It starts from right to left. The umpire does a little dance, and he's going to stick out one finger as if to say, you. And that is the 10th behind of the game for Austin. They go to 6-10-46 on the Watch AFL scoreboard. The lead is 32 points. Boston 2-2-14.
Yeah, the USA, we talked about that. If the Cup did not happen this next year in 2024, we were just going to go.
Yeah.
We just said, okay, the USA team will load up. We're going to go to Australia. We'll play against some local clubs. We'll make it happen. So we're excited. We think it's going to happen. We think they're going to announce it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see both on the men's and the women's side, who comes, what kind of teams they bring, and I was there. I know you've been to a bunch of them, but I was there in 2017. There was nothing like it, especially in this sport. Ball in the middle. It's a good tackle in there, and a great job by Stefan Barr, and Jared Fernandez will win the kick.
Yeah, and it'll be exciting too if they end up doing the same format they were going to use at the last Cup in 2020, where it'll be basically like nationals.
Yeah.
They'll have a big old field and everybody will be there. I think it's going to be a circus.
Yeah, they initially announced it for the Sunshine Coast of Queensland, and there's a question as to whether or not that will stay or whether they'll move it back to Victoria. Sunshine Coast, not a huge footy outlet, but they love their sport up there, and I'm sure they'll really embrace this. Also, the weather will probably be a little bit nicer.
It's one thing I do and I'm looking forward to. We were down there in I want to say in 2002, and we had snow.
Yeah. Yeah, Kim, that was Thomas O'Sullivan who watched the ball go out of bounds. Yeah, it definitely felt like the middle of fall, but it was also 4 seasons in a day. I wasn't cold until I got to Phillip Island to look at the Penguins. I was fine. And Jimmy House, our good friend Jimmy House, who's a coach down there, he looked at me in my little wool Sherpa when we were going to watch Geelong Sydney, and he was like, "You're going to be cold." I'm like, "No, I won't." Like, I'm from Philadelphia. This ain't cold. As the ball gets scooped up, nice by Chippy, but he's going to turn it over. 10 points for effort, but Jay Honey picks it off and kicks this one out to the cow paddock, although there's Chippy once again with 2 players on him ahead of the late arriving Michael Hickey. Handballs to a cutting Mitchell. Mitchell sends that one in, but the wind takes it and shoves it across for another behind.
Another great example. They did not set up and go, just played on. Options coming through. He could have easily just set up and taken a shot at goal. He didn't. He pushed it forward.
Key is having a player there, and
But they know it. They know what to do. They know that they're going to play on, so keep it moving.
6-11-47 on the Watch AFL scoreboard, 2-2-14 for Boston. Less than 8 minutes to go unofficially here in this second half. And we mentioned both of these teams still have Denver and New York. Boston is going to play Denver next. Austin will play New York.
Denver and Austin are playing over there right now. I can't see what that score is at this point.
New York, Denver and New York. So, yeah. New York is very interesting in how they travel. They always seem to be inconsistent when they travel. It used to be they could go anywhere and win, and I know they also had some issues with the flights as well, where some of their players were. So I know with the New York women's team that they were running into issues as well, and but we'll have to see how they go, and we'll have as the ball goes out of bounds. I think we're going to have Austin's game against New York on this field at 2 p.m. local time, so that'll be in 3 games' time. And that'll be Austin against New York. Austin against Denver, though, I think is the showcase piece, a rematch of the grand final from last year in Division I in men's and also from 2019. Yeah. And they met in the semifinals. They met in the semifinals in 2021, and everybody thought, Denver's the only team to have beaten Austin in the last 5 seasons. So, yeah, ball comes back into play over on that far side. And they move along now. Here's a kick. And nice snag. Almost snag there. Boston able to clear that out of defense. Drops in front, chasing after it there is that number 4, I believe, which was Cook. Sends that one in. That ball hit the ground, no call. Devine is in there, or check that. That's not Devine, that's Grace. Great tackle. And Jay Honey able to get it. Honey in short. Mitchell punches it away. Saw him looming, and the ball is cleared out to the near side. 2-on-2 over the top. Nope, pushing the back. Free kick to Boston. Continuing on is O'Meara Gill. O'Meara Gill into a yawning goal square, and it should be a goal. Picking that one up and kicking that one through, oblivious to the carnage behind him, was Jared Fernandez. That's 2 for Fernandez. Probably a consolation goal at this point, but it's 3-2-20 for Boston. Austin 6-11-47 on the Watch AFL scoreboard. It's a 27-point difference.
Yeah, like I said, with percentages, this could affect that. So
Yep.
you definitely want to watch that. I mean, you were talking about the loss to PNG. Percentages killed us. We'd have been in that grand final.
Yep.
We were super close to getting it on percentages.
It also doesn't help when the team kicks 15 goals 2 against you. Yeah. Yeah, it was. Listen, they played very well. They won the whole thing. They played very well. They got a little cocky about it, but that's kind of how they are. Ball comes back in the middle of the ground, or in our editorial opinion.
It will be nice to see them again.
Yes. Yeah. It's amazing to me how they don't have more guys like in the AFL.
Yeah, I think that's going to change. I think that at some point that'll change.
Ace Oea for in Gold Coast has done really well. Maybe we'll see him left-footed kick inside the 50-meter arc, and another mark, and this one taken on the chest by Jesse Aguirre. Aguirre yet to find the score sheet. He stands at a 45-degree angle. You'll have a great job from Craig's camera, or a great view from Craig's camera. It starts left, it stays left. Well, they've kicked 12 behinds in this one, and I think Boston is thanking their lucky stars, because this could have been a real percentage dent. 6-12-48 to Austin. It's a 28-point lead. Boston is 3-2-20. About 4 minutes to go. Don't see them with that sort of percentage. We don't see them kicking 12 behinds in a game.
I mean, it's windy today.
Yeah. Well, almost taken down again. Going after it is Shaw.
Yeah, it's the first game of the day as well.
Yeah. Got to shake the cobwebs out. Well, I mean, with Austin's track record over the last several years, it's like, what? You haven't just grabbed this game by the throat off the like? What is wrong with you? But we saw that last year in the grand final with Denver. Denver came out, kicked those 2 quick goals, and Austin they took the punches and they came from behind and won. Yeah. And it was the same thing with New York. It was a slugfest for the first for the first quarter of that one before they just completely blew New York away. Running on and kicking. Excuse me, Tommy, is this one kicked with the wind? And it was tapped over the line for a behind. Oh, he was? No, it is a goal. Wow, okay. Well, that's Austin's 7th goal of the game, and they go to 7-12-54. Boston goes to 3-2-20, and less than 3 minutes to go, and we're in party time now for the defending champs. Yeah, and they're
Last year talking of that, the Golden Gate game with them was just ridiculous.
oh, it really was.
Golden Gate's one of those teams that if they just kick straight, they're winning.
It's amazing to me. I mean, Golden Gate really has been this team that just has, for many years has been just one step behind Austin. And of course, the only time they won a championship was the year that Austin wasn't in it. But it is amazing to me, as good of a team as they are, and maybe they'll get another chance. But they were within 1 point of knocking them aside, and perhaps getting into the grand final where they would have played. Now, what a don't argue there, as they were looking for Tim McCullough, as he sends that one through and over to get it, and down mushroom farming as Montgomery was able to take him down. I was just reminded here, there's a number of players on this Boston team who come from the Maine Cats. Now, the Maine Cats, they were their standalone club up until the end of last season. They are officially a metro side of Boston, but guys like Timmy Fullwider, a longtime Kangaroo, played on the national team as well. It's great to see the sport growing up in Portland. They are, again, under the Demons umbrella, so they can play with them at tournaments, but Maine is a lovely place, and it's great to see Aussie rules. They just had a big tournament up there with Quebec and Boston. Murphy, who's taking the mark of the day, out to the near side for a wide open Cook. Cook has a bounce. Cook directs traffic. Oh, and a great smother. I think that was Holston. No, check that. That's going to end up being Young. And it will be a boundary throw-in. Austin wanted a free kick. They aren't going to get it. Less than a minute to go now. We have unofficially about 30 seconds. This is Murphy. Looks for Brown, finds the boundary line. Yeah. Austin is going to go to 1-0. Boston's going to drop to 0-1, as we say. Austin's got New York next. Boston will face Denver. And we'll have the Austin-New York game for you here on USAFL.com. Sends that one in, does Barr. Will drop in front, and a nice mark taken defensively. And that, or no, by the forward there. Again, I'm sorry, that was that. No, I think that's Aguirre. No, it is 18. Sorry, you got it. Your eyes are better than me. Tom O'Sullivan. Yeah, so do I. So mine doesn't work. Here's Tom O'Sullivan. One more nail in the old coffin. Another behind. Oh, it might have gone out on the foot. No, they're going to give it to him. And that's it. So the final score on the Watch AFL scoreboard, it's the Austin Crows 7 goals, 13-55. Boston 3-2-20. You know what, if you're Boston, now you know, and honestly, we saw some good things out of them.
Yeah, they got some talent. Holy smokes. Some of those guys in the middle are ridiculous. Like I said, it comes down to Americans. You got to have the Americans being able to cancel out other Aussies.
Yeah.
And Austin's got that. They've got guys that can play against their Aussies as well.
Yeah, there really is. Well, that's going to do it for this one. Our thanks to Tom Ellis from the USA Revolution National Team for joining us. And our thanks to Craig, our camera person, who is bringing you these wonderful pictures across USAFL.com. And don't forget to join us for more here on the 2023 USAFL Super Regionals here from Olathe, Kansas. For our friends at Visit Olathe and Tasmanian, and for everybody else here, this is Brian Barrett saying so long for now.